Minecraft Multiverse had to have a founder, right? Ladies, gentlemen, non-binary people, and everyone in between, I present to you the god of the multiverse, Grumbot. Who's Grumbot, and how did he even make his way into the world of Hermitcraft? Well, it all started back in Hermitcraft Season 7, when Grian thought it would be a good idea to start a campaign to be mayor of the shopping district. But not for himself, of course. This is Grian we're talking about. Naturally, Grian started a mayoral campaign for Mumbo Jumbo without even telling him, designed Mumbo for mayor poster, and built a mustache-shaped headquarters where he would act as Mumbo's campaign manager. After finally telling Mumbo about the campaign, Grian and Mumbo sat down to have their first meeting at the headquarters, only to realize that neither Mumbo nor Grian have any idea of how to run a campaign for an election. But Mumbo had an idea. Instead of doing all the hard thinking for themselves, Mumbo proposed that he would create a machine that could do the political thinking for them. A Grian Mumbo mayoral bot, as Mumbo described. That's the exact moment where Grian thought of the name. The idea for a Grumbot was born. The original idea for the Grumbot was a simple question-answer redstone machine, sort of like a magic 8-ball. Mumbo and Grian wanted a robot that they could ask simple yes or no questions, and the computer would spit out an answer in return. As a master builder and designer, Grian constructed the outer shell of Grumbot, while Mumbo, the redstone engineer, obviously did the work on Grumbot's supercomputer technology. And after a successful first test with Grumbot, Mumbo was positive that the artificial intelligence would make winning the election super easy. On their next meeting, Mumbo demonstrated to Grian how Grumbot works. Grian was baffled by Mumbo's design because he had no idea what mayoral reservoirs were and thought it strange that Mumbo made a machine that they would have to pay to use. But they decided to use Grumbot anyway. As a test, Mumbo and Grian's first question for Grumbot was, "What is our slogan?" To which Grumbot replied correctly, "Mumbo for mayor." When Grian asked Grumbot,
"What is the meaning of life?"
the supercomputer once again produced the answer,
"Mumbo for mayor."
Thinking this might be a glitch, Mumbo asked Grumbot if he could say anything different, to which the computer replied that he could say other things, but Mumbo for mayor is all he wanted to say. From that point on, Grumbot's mission was clear. He would stop at nothing to make sure Mumbo was elected mayor of Hermitcraft. With this in mind, Grian asked Grumbot what his plan was for the mayoral campaign, and the only response the computer could give was,
"Grumbot needs budget." Dude, we just gave you 4 diamonds, mate. What?
However, even after Grian and Mumbo had both given their robot several diamond blocks to fund the campaign, Grumbot demands that he needed even more budget if they were to help Team Grumbo win the election. The next time Grian visited Grumbot and asked what to do, the computer told him to wear Mumbo for Mayor merchandise to cause public awareness to skyrocket. To his first creator, Grian, Grumbot suggested for him to build a Grumbot shop. And to his second creator, Mumbo, the robot told him to build a Minecraft film studio. Grian got straight along with building the Grumbot shop, which he pronounced as the younger, cuter brother of Grumbot, who Grian named
Drumbot.
Grian and Mumbo met up with Grumbot once more, and the supercomputer finally gave the duo the instructions they have been asking for so long. In order to get votes, Grumbot told Mumbo to use his film studio to shoot an advertisement for his campaign, and he told Grian to sell the diamonds they had mined at the Grumbot shop to buy the votes of as many hermits as possible. While this sounded a little shady from an election perspective, Grian suggested that he would throw in a free mustache to any hermit who purchased diamonds to sweeten the deal. Grian got the mustaches to give to other hermits by shaving them off Mumbo Jumbo's head. Even after stocking the Grumbot shop and filming a spicy campaign ad for the election, Mumbo, as it turns out, was in the last place in the election. After thinking the campaign over, Grian thought it was finally time to confront Grumbot and tell the computer that his plan wasn't working. However, after meeting up with the robot, Grian discovered that Grumbot had been hacked. He could no longer say Mumbo for mayor, and he was stuck on the phrase, "Get gorgeous," the slogan for Stress Monster 101's mayoral campaign. Clearly having been tampered with by Stress Monster, Grumbot wasn't doing too well. And after Grian feebly attempted to repair the robot himself, Grumbot went from saying "Get gorgeous" to "Get Grian," which terrified the hermit. Mumbo stepped in and managed to repair Grumbot, who now claimed to be extremely happy to be fixed. However, on the day of the election, Mumbo was still behind, so Grian and Mumbo made one last-ditch effort to ask Grumbot for help. When Green mentioned to Grumbot that it was election day, the robot malfunctioned and began spitting out notes littered with all sorts of existential crises, such as what is sadness? Am I human? What is life? And does anything really matter? When the election results came in, Mumbo Jumbo had a total of 0 votes, and Good Times with Scar was elected mayor of Hermitcraft. Because of Grumbot's recent breakdown, Green and Mumbo agreed that after they repaired him, they would create a simulated reality around Grumbot to make the computer believe that Mumbo had been elected mayor, to keep the robot from freaking out again. After constructing a virtual reality chamber around Grumbot, Green and Mumbo staged Mumbo's election as the mayor of Hermitcraft, and Grumbot believed the whole thing. Grumbot, now believing his life had meaning, was happier now than he had ever been in the past. Mumbo was mayor, or so he thought. We thought this was the last we'd ever see of Grumbot, but that couldn't have been more wrong. You see, in episode 17 of Green's Hermitcraft season 9, a variant of Grumbot, this one known as Grumbot Prime, made his way through Green's rift and settled underneath his mega base. As it turns out, Grumbot Prime came from an alternate version of season 7, where Mumbo Jumbo really was elected mayor of Hermitcraft. Green used this version of Grumbot for content generation. By messing with Grumbot Prime's controls, a hermit would be given a prompt in the form of a noun, the name of a hermit, and a verb which the hermit would then have to use to create some kind of content for all sorts of randomized fun. For example, when Green used Grumbot's content generator for the first time, he got Warden, Green, and Puppet Show. So naturally, Green had to put on a puppet show for B-Dub, Scar, and Pearl while wearing a Warden head. Things were good between Grumbot Prime and Green, but Grumbot Prime showed his true colors a little bit when Green, wanting to use the content generator for his own shenanigans and take down Rand the King, tampered with Grumbot's messaging system. Angry that Green had messed with his messaging system, Grumbot Prime told Green that his own version of Green was also sorry when he did something that made Grumbot mad, implying that Grumbot Prime might have actually killed the Green from his own timeline. In episode 22 of his series, Green goes to Grumbot to ask for more content, but all Grumbot can state is that he wants Green to try to make Mumbo mayor of Hermitcraft yet again. Green informs Grumbot that Mumbo had been away from Hermitcraft for some time, as he was taking a break from YouTube for some personal time in the real world. However, Grumbot Prime asserted that he would find a way to make Mumbo mayor, some way, somehow. After Green discovered the mysterious button on a lodestone outside his rift in episode 23 of his series, he resisted the urge to press it. However, after using Grumbot's content generator once again, the content now read, "Press the button." However, by the end of his episode, Green could no longer resist the urge, so he pressed the button, opening the rift to the world of the Empires SMP. With no other options to understanding the rift, Green asked Grumbot about the tear in reality. Grumbot Prime stated that he didn't know what was on the other side of the rift because there was not a Grumbot in the universe that it led to, implying that all Grumbots across the multiverse are connected in some way. When Grumbot exists in a universe, it registers that universe on its database. However, if there is no Grumbot in another universe, like in the world of Empires, that world will not be registered on Grumbot's extremely large database of knowledge. Grumbot Prime then commands Green to gather up as many hermits as he can, and he provides the hermit with some compasses that lead directly to the lodestone. Green complied, placing compasses all over the server. After gathering a bunch of the hermits, they crossed over into the world of the Empires SMP. But how could this be? Grumbot was clearly trying to get Green to push the button, which leads me to believe he was the one who put it there in the first place. Why do you think Grumbot was urging Green to push the button?